morning, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 7, Episode 33, DJI Neo Almost Here. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. Let's take a look. We got a full house. Guys, you guys are on the ball tonight. Man, this is awesome here. David Martin Graff, Akarasho, Drone Shots, Jody, welcome. Let's see who else. John Olson is here. Welcome, John. Jaybird is here. Welcome, Jaybird. See who else. Johnny's here. Welcome, Johnny. John's here. Welcome, Flying Flynn Media. See who else. Big Orange Drone Flyer. Zach is here. Welcome. Joe Merrick is here. Welcome, Joe. Good to see you. Leonard Oglesby. Artco is here. Welcome, Art. Good to see you. Let's see who else we got. Wow, we really got a full house. Stephen Scott. Welcome, Stephen. Captain Ray is here. All right. Wow. The hits keep rolling. Michael Wright is here. Let's see. Richard is here. Welcome, Richard. Good to see you. Wow. My gosh. Dr. Ted is in the house. All right. My gosh. You guys are on point tonight. Absolutely on point. Now, you guys know I have, Ham Radio Basics channel. I have my Tundra Nation Basics channel. Okay. I have some other ones too. You guys probably don't know about it. And one I'm going to drop a link for is, and I created this one at the behest of my wife. It's called Pleasing Sounds Channel. And what I did was I create videos on there. It's super easy to create these videos. And they're white noise or brown noise, okay? And I use organic sources. In other words, what I do is I go out to my back porch when having a thunderstorm and I'll record that. I'll use the DJI mic. I'll use my Samsung phone, or I'll use my DJI Action 4 to record that. And then what you do is you just elongate it. It's real simple. It's a real simple process. And I've done 10-hour videos. I've done 12-hour videos. They take a lot to compile. And then I also have 24/7 live streams running. I use a service called Upstream to do that. And you have to pay per month, but it used to be so complicated to do something like that. Super easy. It is just absolutely super easy. These are the kind of videos I have. I've added videos with like winter scenes, winterscapes, and crackling fireplaces. Rainfall is in a lot of the videos. Airplane noise, calming sounds to help you relax at night. Several of them are black screens. So you could leave your phone on and it's a black screen. You don't see that at all. 10, 12 hours for a good night's rest. Try it out. If you know somebody that would be interested in it, it really does make a difference. It really does help you calm down. Listen to some of these for a few minutes and it really will. So just wanted to make that pitch. Okay. All right. So next week, wow. Okay. I'm going to be on, I got a spoiler here. Spoiler alert, I'm going to be on Drone Nation on Monday night on the 19th. So make sure you guys tune in, okay? Bill Drone Review is going to be on. We're going to talk about the Neo. Next morning, release party, Drone Nation with Ron and Marcus. Be there. Johnny will probably be there. Ray might be there. Don't all know who will join us. And then we'll wrap things up Tuesday night with all the goodies about the Neo. Looking to have a lot of fun. It's always fun whenever there's a drone release, okay? And what's nice is because it's the month of August, Congress isn't in session, so there's not a lot of talk about the drone ban, and which is good, okay? It's like you can only take so much of that at a given point in time. I mean, really. I get to the point like, I don't want to hear any more about it. I just want to hear some good news. Have some good news. And we're going to talk about the Neo here in a little bit. Actually got several updates, believe it or not. All right. But those are the public service announcements here. And I've also started another channel, believe it or not. It's called Florida Panthers Den. You probably know. Take a look. My hockey team is now the Florida Panthers. Okay. I still root for the Penguins. I still like them. But my number one team's the Panthers. I've actually got a partial season ticket pass. We're going to drive down to Sunrise. We have tickets for 11 games this year, but I've kind of been smart. The games that I chose around weekends, we're going to take vacation time. It's really going to work here. Really, really going to work here. All right. First thing I want to talk about tonight in this article, this had just come up because this wasn't out on Drone DJ's site earlier. DJI Mavic 3 Enterprise drones approved for FAA 2 flight over people. And what they've done is AVSS's latest achievement follows the earlier success of the AVSS PRS M3DT. In other words, there's a parachute system. This is what you see on the top of the drone here, okay? And this allows it to be able, the approval falls under FAA's Category 2 Declaration of Compliance, which is part of the agency's regulations allow drones to operate over people without the need for a 107.39 waiver. The waiver previously required operators to undergo a lengthy approval process to fly drones over individuals, making the new Category 2 DOC game changer for the industry, okay? No word on how much this costs. I'm sure it's an expensive system, and I'm sure this has been thoroughly vetted and tested out. But it's real interesting to see this because this was a late-breaking news. You know, I spent time here's a secret, okay? A secret, not a secret. I spend my lunchtime getting the show ready and put together here on Tuesdays. That's what I do. But that wasn't out until later this afternoon. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. That's real interesting. I really like seeing that. And that's good news because that might lead the way for, you know, if it's not too cost prohibitive. Now, I know some of them are pretty expensive. Some of them may be $400 or $500. So I have no idea how much this costs. And I did a video, I'm going to say maybe 4 years ago on one, on parachute systems. And the ones that I saw, the one that I saw was for an Inspire. It worked and it worked really well. However, it's very expensive. It was probably to the tune of about $2,000. So, but anyway, wanted to run this by you guys. All right. Let's see here. Okay, we got that. All right. Firmware updates, all right? It's probably not for a drone that many of you have, but DJI releases new firmware update for the Inspire 3. Aircraft firmware, remote control firmware, intelligent battery firmware, charging hub firmware, Zenmuse X9 8K Air firmware, DJI Pilot 2 app, DJI Assistant 2, DJI Inspire series. Okay. Wow. Okay. A lot of firmware updates here for this. To upgrade, users can utilize the DJI Assistant 2 or the DJI Pilot 2 for the aircraft and remote control. The DJI Pilot 2 app updates automatically with the remote controller firmware, ensuring a seamless transition. DJI advises users to restart the aircraft remote controller and DJI Pilot 2, DJI Assistant 2 if the update fails initially. Okay. A full frame 8K imaging system and DJI O3 Pro video transmission and control system. Really, the latest firmware focuses on housekeeping, fixing minor bugs, and performance issues. Nonetheless, the tech giant recommends you upgrade the firmware in time to get a better experience. Okay, you can tell there's a lot of firmware updates to an Inspire. I know the Inspire 2, and I was talking to Billy once, and he said, yeah, there's a lot to it. So, you know, you're all in. When you get an Inspire, you're all in. Okay, and it's really more of a professional drone than a drone for regular consumers. All right. Okay. Let's see, where else will we go in here? Okay. Another interesting art. You know, it was great. They had a lot of really good articles today about DJI drones. I was pretty impressed. So let's go ahead and see this. Pilot uses DJI Avata 2 to assist rescue of a sinking boat. Very interesting. A new drone owner took part in a rescue using his Avata 2 to spot a sinking boat on Utah Lake on August 3rd. Using his FPV drone, he was able to pinpoint the boat and help direct rescuers to the location, saving the family's lives. On August 3rd, he took his latest purchase, an Avata 2, out for a flight near Utah Lake. There he found several City of London police officers on scene. He asked the officers if it's okay to fly, but then asked if his drone had the range to search for a sinking boat on the lake. Flying the Avata 2, which uses DJI's fourth generation OcuSync, it has unobstructed interference-free distance of about 13 kilometers with interference more likely to 4 kilometers. With that, he's a trained first responder and using a drone not designed for such a mission. He set out looking for the family, fighting for their lives as their boat sinks. According to an interview with local NBC affiliate, he was able to find the boat within 15 minutes. With low battery, he was able to relay coordinates to first responders before attempting to return the drone to land. Sadly, the drone took a swim as its battery dropped depleted before returning estimated 10,000 distance feet. It flew over the water. Thankfully, that was the only life claimed on Utah Lake that day. All 7 individuals of the boat, including 2 toddlers, were rescued by fellow boaters. The rescue is greatly credited to this gentleman's actions and use of life vests. Wow. Okay, that's incredible. Started a GoFundMe to replace the drone. Afterwards, she got out about his good deed. The fund brought over $2,000 to help cover the cost, and that's fantastic. I mean, that's, you like seeing. There's so much negativity going on. There's so much just bad press out there, and bad about this, bad about that. All kind of just bad stuff. I love seeing articles like this. I mean, this is a win-win-win. Okay. And you know what? If you're ever in a situation, I know any of you guys, if you're asked by local law enforcement to help, you're going to do everything you can, even if you lose your drone. Okay. Because most of us, face it, we have some form of drone insurance. I mean, I'm doubly insured on most of my drones. But all my drones are covered under State Farm personal articles policy. So if something like that happens, it's covered. I don't have any worries about that. And I'm sure that's not what was on his mind. What was on his mind was finding them and helping law enforcement find. And kudos to him. And what a great effort. And great news. I love seeing this. I love seeing that. Yeah. Mad props. Yeah, it is. It really is. And Ray, yeah, it's just, I can't say that enough, okay? Because we see so much bad going on out there, okay? We're constantly spoon-fed bad news and bad information and bad this and bad that, okay? Good stuff. Absolutely good stuff. I'm just really, really happy. Oh, Bill Thomas is here. Bill, by the way, happy belated birthday. I wanted to wait till this week because last week probably would have been too early. But again, happy birthday, Bill. Hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Wanted to make sure that we mentioned that. Glad you're here tonight. Thank you for stopping by. Okay. Are you talking about the Neo MHM? Yeah, tune in next Monday night, Tuesday morning, and Tuesday evening, and you'll find out. But no, I'm planning on it. It just sounds like too good of a drone. Yeah. And see, the hard thing for me is, okay, I want to buy one for my granddaughter. She's only 5 years old. And I know, God bless my son-in-law. He would probably decapitate me if I did something like that. So I'm probably going to have to hold back the reins on that one. That's for sure. But no, that would be a perfect drone for her in a couple of years. I think when she turns 7 or 8, I think maybe I can coax my daughter and my son-in-law and say, Ellie needs that drone. I think, Daddy flies a drone, and Ellie needs to fly a drone too. So we're going to make sure that happens. I guarantee you that. I absolutely guarantee you that. All right. This was a great article. Okay. And it's like, you come across ones every now and then. This one is absolutely fantastic here. The secret to DJI's drone market dominance revealed. Okay. And it really, the article kind of broke things down here. DJI leads the market because it created it. All right. They were the first ones out there. DJI's early entry in the drone market was a crucial factor in establishing its dominance. Okay. The Phantom marked DJI's debut in fully assembled drones and was one of the earliest models designed specifically for consumers. When it launched in 2013, it stood out because, unlike other quadcopters at the time, which were difficult for beginners to fly, the Phantom was easy to fly, straight out of the box. It was priced affordably for serious hobbyists and accessible enough for anyone interested in using it professionally. Yeah. Investment in R&D, supply chain integration, okay? A cornerstone of DJI's strategy is substantial investment in R&D. R&D, this is just R&D at DJI. They employ 14,000 people with 25% of the workforce dedicated solely to product development. DJI maintains a relentless focus on innovation. Its incontestable ecosystem allows the company to continually improve the products while ensuring they remain competitive in terms of price and quality. Okay. See, Frank Wang is, we kid about him all the time, but wow. Okay. He had a great vision. He's put it together. Here's Ron. How you doing, Ron? Is your mic on? Okay. Ron is taking care of some technical difficulties. He will rejoin us here in a second. Companies introduced automation and key aspects of production from component manufacturing to final assembly, and ensuring another way to maintain high standards and reduce costs. Below, you can see a video from inside a DJI factory highlighting these aspects. Okay. But yeah, it's just, and DJI is subsidized by the Chinese government. I mean, that's a big question. And, they basically, DJI critics often cite one story in the media as proof of direct subsidy to the company. To be clear, DJI's majority ownership rests with our founding partners. The remaining investors are from private sector, with the exception of less than a 6% stake and under 1% voting rights that are owned by several state-owned banks, one state-owned insurance company, and 2 municipal investment firms. There he is.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Gotcha.
What happened is I knew I had to refresh, like the thing froze before I got logged in. So I figured that's what messed the mic up, the freeze up. So sorry, folks, for the technical difficulties here. But
boy, we had a crew on tonight, Ron. I mean, everybody was rocking and rolling right at 8 o'clock. I mean, had 30, 40 people ready to rock and roll tonight.
They're all waiting for the news on that new Neo.
That's right. We're gonna get to that here in a little bit. But this article right here, it's a great article. How did DJI become the company it did? And it talks about they led the market because they created it. They invest heavily in research and development. They're not subsidized by the Chinese government, and the contribution to U.S. economy and future outlook. Okay.
I read that article a little bit, and they it's a good article, but they do a little disservice. Parrot actually had the first consumer drone I saw that came as a complete kit or whatever was a Parrot drone and not a DJI.
That's true. I remember that.
Now, I'm not saying they were the greatest drones, but all I'm saying is they were probably in the first as far as the affordable kit you could buy already assembled. Right.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a good article. It kind of, it's kind of a positive spin. I really, really like that. Okay, MHM. The dates are in November for the Vegas meetup. Is that right, Ron?
Yes, and Bob Dempsey has a website set up with all the details. I think the website's as simple as something like vegasmeetup.com, and all the dates, the prices, all that stuff's at Bob's website.
Everything's out there, and
probably as we get closer, Bill, maybe we even get Bob on Drone Nation and Bill the drone reviewer to kind of talk about things.
Yeah, we'll have Bob on to help promote the show. I think that would be a good thing, because
the star of the Vegas drone meetup just joined us on the bottom screen.
There he is, right there.
He'll be signing autographs at the Drone Nation booth.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, at the Drone Nation booth, and we'll call it the Drone Nation / Rotor Talk Live booth.
There we go. There we go. He's right down here, folks. Well, you know what we need? We need Marcus posing by his Corvette and get some 8x10s done of that, and have him autograph those and make money for Drone Nation.
There you go.
See, that would do the trick. I know I'd buy one. I'd hang it up.
DeMarco will be collecting the money at the back of the booth.
That's right.
Oh, DeMarco collects the money.
Well, I just read about a story, and I don't know if you guys saw it, but somebody out in Utah had an Avata 2, and was asked by local law enforcement. There was a family who was in trouble on the lake, and he flew his Avata 2 out there and gave the coordinates, and it helped save a family of 7 out on the lake.
Lost his drone.
And he lost his drone in the interim. His wife started to GoFundMe, and they raised $2,000 for him right away.
But he saved the people, though, right?
Yep. Everybody got saved, including 2 toddlers, too.
Wow.
You know, and one of the things that I want to say about it, there's just so much negativity lately about you name it, okay? This is that time of year, all right? It's just the election's coming up. A lot of just garbage going out there.
Bill, good point. And if they would have had an inferior drone out there, maybe all those people wouldn't have been saved.
That's true. That's very true. Okay. Well, I think I told you, my one friend, Bobby is his name. He flies for the Florida Panthers down inside their arena. And he uses an Avata 2 inside there. And he recorded a shot that had never been done before at a Stanley Cup Finals game. What he did was he launched from, you know how they have, the players' entrances? He was at one of the player entrances, but as soon as it was like less than 5 seconds, he took his drone off and he flew it over the bench, because when they win the Stanley, they just go over the boards, and they, and they're jumping up in the air and stuff. But he flew over them. He never had that view before, and it was live. It was from the Avata. It was fantastic.
Well, Bill, maybe next season he'll be flying Neo over them.
That's right. Well, I bet, you know what? I have partial season tickets. I'm going to be going down to Valley, and I'm going down for 11 games. I'm going to try to get hooked up with him and do an interview with him while we're there. I think that would be really good, and put it on here, and then put it on my Florida Panthers channel too. So
there you go.
That's going to be some fun. So, but no, it's good. It was good, really good to see some good news about this. I was just so thrilled. Okay. All right.
You guys have heard the news about the newest drone to hit the market.
What's that?
It just showed up at my door today, so I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. I don't know about you guys. Okay. I've been getting a ton of emails, and I mean ton, at least 3 or 4 a day. We love your channel. We would like for you to look at our product. Okay. Heat massager, a light, nothing even remotely
connected.
Okay. And I go, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay. And then here, this one was just, okay, Top. We love your channel. We would like for you to review the Mavic 3 charger. And I'm laughing. Okay. I'm saying, sure. I respond back. Well, I've already reviewed, they've already sent me 2 of them. Okay. They said, our records indicate we've sent you 2 of them. And I said, yeah, and I've done a review. Do you want to send me another one? Go ahead. I don't care. It's just like every morning I go to my inbox and I see it's filled up with all these. Would you like to review? Well, not really. Okay. But, thanks, but no thanks. We'll call you later.
The things that they want you to review, it'll be just crazy things like children's toys and things like that. And, well, God, they don't even look at your channel, right? Clearly, they're not even looking at it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how they got your name, but it wasn't because they looked at the channel.
Yeah.
But a lot of the first paragraph's always like, oh, we love what you're doing over in your channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids toys or women's makeup or something.
Well, this is a really good article here because it's really hot in most parts of the United States right now. And it's how to care for your DJI drone battery during summer months. And there are some really good tips here. Monitor battery temperature during flight. How can I check the battery temperature in the DJI Fly app? And there's a way to go ahead, and it shows you how to do that. Proper storage, daily care for DJI drone batteries. When your drone is not in use, store the battery separately in a cool, dry place. Avoid exposure to direct sunlight, heat sources, or any liquids. Metal objects would also be kept away from the battery. Proper storage is crucial in maintaining the battery's health and longevity. One of the tips that I want to add to this is one of the things that I do after I'm out flying and it's warm outside, I'll set the batteries on my desk, okay? And I have one of these really small, I probably say it here, one of these small personal fans, okay? And I turn that on. And I let it cool down. I let it get to room temperature before I even think about charging the batteries up, okay? While they're hot and still from outside, I don't even think about charging them up, okay? charge discharge cycles for long-term storage, and it talks about that, which is good. Understanding and preventing battery swelling, aging, storing high temperature environments for an extended period, frequent use in high temperature environments, over discharging or overcharging. Okay, this is just some good tips, and I think a lot of people you can probably stave off a large part of problems and issues with batteries if you follow these tips. I think it's a good guide. I'm glad they put this out here. It's just common sense, a lot of this. And I just find it really funny that a lot of people, especially, they'll come in and first thing they'll do is they'll put their battery on their charger after they're out flying. And I'm like, no. You need to let that thing cool down before you do that. All right. That's good for the battery.
You know what I'll say about DJI drones is, there was issues with the Mavic 2,
right,
and a few issues with the Air 2 and Air 2S batteries. I think they kind of solved those later on, but since then their batteries are so solid. I mean, I almost wouldn't do anything.
But I do when a hot summer day when I'm done flying drone, the batteries are warm. I won't put the batteries inside the case or whatever. I'll let them sit outside the case in the car. But usually by the time not usually, 99.9% of the time, even if I'm local, by the time I get home or wherever, the cars are back to room temp. The batteries are back to room temperature again. By the time I get home, and I stick them in the bag again. But Bill, Bill's exactly right though. Until those batteries are back to room temperature, don't charge them.
Well, I'll never forget, because it was the last time, it's been a while. Ken Dono and I went out flying. We went down by the Skyway Bridge here in Tampa. And, I was going on my third battery because flying out over the bridge, I mean, it's a long haul and you're going to use battery. Ken was on his third battery as well. And he's trying to put it in and he's like, it's not clicking, Bill, what's wrong? And I'm looking at it. I said, look at the battery. And it was swollen. It wouldn't go in there. And he's like, holy crap. And
was that the Air 2S? Remember, he had a big problem with the Air 2S battery.
No, that was the Mavic 2 Pro. It was a Mavic 2 that he had with that. So that was the first time I saw that. And I'm like, holy crap. And it really was swollen. I mean, really swollen. It was very noticeable.
I'm lucky. I've never had a swollen battery, especially. No,
I haven't either.
DJI drone. Hey, David Martin Graff has a good comment in the chat, Bill. It's like 3 things up at the bottom. He says the battery will begin flashing if you put the charger while it's still hot. The battery can't take the charge. And I'm sure he's right, because I've never tried that, so I would never see that.
Yeah, I've never tried that either. But thank you for pointing that out, David. That's great. That's great to know, to be able to do something like that. I mean, it's like, for me, it's just common sense. And it's just, we'll see, I also have to be wary of my ham radio batteries. Okay. Now they use a different structure than they're the one I forget. It's lithium, but not ion. It's another one, but they're not as volatile as like the batteries that we have for the drones, which is nice, but still I still put them in the flame-proof pouches and everything. And I still am real careful, especially if I'm outside. If I've used them and they've been out in the sun, I let them get to air temperature before I even think about charging them, because, they're on individual. There's a lot of them have their own individual chargers, and a lot of the ham radio stuff operates off of 12 volts. So, I mean,
hey, Jim Anderson has a question in chat here, and it's probably useful for a lot of people. He says, how far out can you charge before you fly? And Jim, it kind of all depends on what drone you have. Marcus, is that your experience too?
Oh, yeah. It's so DJI, I think they start discharging, I think, after a couple of days. But even
within the DJI drones, is still, to me, it still varies from drone to drone.
It does. But often I've flown like a week later after I charged it, and you still got like 80% battery or something.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's important. I think it's important enough that we go there. Now, one of the things that I wanted to allow enough time to be able to do this. Okay, the Neo update. All right, and actually have a lot of information on this. Okay, now the first I'm going to share Both our friends Jasper, Ellen, and Igor had a lot to share about it. So this is what there's still a lot I can't tell. It's too soon. So let's take a look at our baby, the DJI Neo.
Somebody released a picture today. They even showed the charging hub.
Now, I also read today, and I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but let's go up. I'm going to click on Igor's main.
I've heard
here's the charging hub.
One of the complaints, Bill, is that you, if you look at that curved portion on the top of the drone, nobody's going to be able to grab it by the top.
Ah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That is a good point. Now, I did hear.
I don't think the DJI engineers, designers take that into that fact is probably not taken into all when they design it. When somebody,
I guess where I'm kind of referring to, though, Ron, is those guys. You know, the ones that hand catch and then they turn it sideways.
Yeah. Again, I'm sure the DJI engineer didn't consider that one iota when they designed it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that stuff they said looks like it's coming from the manual, the quick start guide.
Well, I read today that the prop guards can come off. I did see something about that.
Well, partially, like
partially, yeah. Because it's still part of that. If you look at the drone itself, let's bring that up. But this part underneath here, that's permanent. That's
right. That's kind of like the Avata, but that top extra part, they say, can come off.
It can come off.
The part that makes you legal to fly where people can come off.
Exactly. Now let's go ahead. Let's take a look at Jasper.
Which may make it fly better in the wind if that's removed.
Okay. Now it looks like that's the fly more combo right there.
Extra props.
Got the extra props. The controller. Let's take a look and see if he has anything else.
That's the controller most of us don't need there.
Yeah. Well, I did read today, and here's some other pictures, and it's pretty much what we've seen before. Okay. This was real interesting right here. Do you remember DJI patented the DJI Neo and DJI Flip name at the same time? A trusted source told me that DJI Neo will react to the command, hey, fly, and enter voice commands. DJI almost called it the DJI Flip because it'll perform a backflip on voice command. That was very interesting. I did not know that until I read that today.
Yeah. What name would you prefer, Bill? The Flip or the Neo?
I kind of like the Neo better.
I like the Neo.
Yeah, I think it's more fitting here. I really do.
Well, I will also say that flips are fun for drones like this. I don't know about what it's going to do for that camera drone.
The Tele Flip, I believe.
Hey, everybody's upside down.
DJI Neo offers palm takeoff,
quick shots, 12 megapixel photo, easy content creation, voice control. There's your flip on the voice control.
Wow, that's going to be interesting. Well, Valerie remembers. Valerie and I were talking tonight.
Hey, don't put that picture up one more time, please. Sorry to cut you off. I saw something very top. Okay. Pre-order and in-stock tracker. Okay, I thought it was saying something else. Okay.
Valerie remembers the Spark in my, doing the hand commands with the Spark. Okay, and I told her, I said that was a hit or miss. I hope they've done better. I would think that they've done better with this. I would hope so.
I hope it's not released with the Spark software.
Hey, Bill, did you see Koopy's comment? We talked about that a little bit on Drone Nation last night.
Ruined the hobby. Yeah, a DJI selfie drone ruined the hobby.
In other words, if super popular and there's 10,000 of them, there's people flying them, and in parks and sporting events, and because you can fly them over people.
They'll be flying over people every place you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And because it's an entry-level product.
I'll be the pessimist. I'm going to say, again, the only person buying this drones, us old farts or whatever, every time Dick and Harry have one in the park, not going to happen.
Well, I'm kind of saying just the opposite, because I think it's a mass market product. And what I worry is the people that buy it are going to have no clue about any kind of drone regulations or anything. And it's going to be so simple to operate that, they just throw it up in the air and off they go. I don't know. Who knows?
Dave brought up a good point here, because I think a lot of people are going to want to try to fly this indoors. Okay. DJI software is a little funky for small drones, especially flying indoors. Hope they incorporated some adjustments to compensate for this. It's a very good point, David, because I know now I flew the Spark indoors, but the Spark was way too powerful to fly indoors. I mean, it had full-on prop guards and everything, but I'll tell you what, it would just, I flew over a table and all the papers on it went all over the place. And it's not really that's not really designed to fly indoors. Okay.
I'll push back a little bit. I got prop guards to test this winter for the Mini 4 Pro, and I put them on and flew the drone inside, because the prop guards, the drones did not fly well outdoors with prop guards on because of the wind grabbing it. But indoors, even though I could not get a good GPS signal, I couldn't even get enough satellites for lock indoors. The drone hovered in place like Marcus said. It was on a string indoors, even though it claimed not to have satellites. So that drone flew perfectly indoors for me, even though it supposedly did not have a lock. I mean, the bottom sensors in that did an excellent job. Now, this is during the daytime. I wasn't flying at night. I wasn't in a dark basement or anything. These were rooms with, good daytime lighting.
Bob Dempsey, if you could do me a favor, if you could drop a link for the Vegas drone meetup in the chat. There's
Bob, we had a gentleman asking about it earlier.
Yeah, if you could do that, that would be great. Really appreciate that. And thanks for stopping by. And I am going to get you on the show to talk about that. I think we still want to try to promote it, because I know you're still looking to get people to come to it. So okay, just wanted to go over that. This is a good point from David. Raised another good point. The Hover X1 flying in dolly track does a good job flying following from the front. Simple and easy. First DJI drone to enable frontward tracking was a Mavic 3, and we saw some mixed reviews. It's a good point. That's a really good point. And because I think, I hesitate to call this a selfie drone. Just because, I just hesitate to call it a selfie drone. I mean, you could probably use it as one, but is that what the major use of this drone is going to be for? It's going to be selfies?
Yep, I think so.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah. All those controls on the top of the drone, Bill, and all that, I think that's what they're after. Now, what DJI is smart enough, they learned lessons from the Spark. Remember selling it without a controller and so forth. They're offering it with a controller because they know guys like us, we want to fly, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think they're going after that selfie drone business.
Of course, I'm going to push back again. If the selfie drone people wanted a selfie drone, from all the reviews I've seen, the Hover 1 performs very well as a selfie drone, but it hasn't seemed to get any traction with, we'll say the non-drone people.
I'm gonna push back, Ron. I'm gonna push you right back. When has DJI left any rock unturned? Right? If there's a niche, they're gonna get in on it.
Yeah. Well, I just, I understand that, but and they'll maybe have better marketing. Maybe Hover failed with their marketing. Maybe they made mistakes because they seem to release a decent product in that category, and for whatever reason, it hasn't got much steam.
Well, one of the things I remember, now correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Lauren mention something about they had that Hover X1 up at his store and it just sat there and nobody was interested in it? Am I right about that?
He may have said that. I don't remember that all, but I'm not saying he didn't. He could have said.
They might have. I wonder if he's listening.
Yeah. He may be underground now because he's Sergeant Schultz. He probably can't say much these days.
He could send me a message though.
Well, it's interesting because Stephen here and Brad indicate that Hubbard's coming out with a brand new selfie drone. So the timing is very interesting on this. As far as
I just heard from Lauren. Yeah, he said that the store just collects dust.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I was right. So
yeah. But it sounds like the selfie drone market's going to get real competitive here real soon.
Yeah, this is going to be real interesting to see how this heats up. And it was good.
Of course, I mean, personally, I have zero interest in a selfie drone only setup.
Yeah.
Ron, you don't think anybody wants to see your handsome face in a video?
Yeah, I can always put the Mini 4 Pro up, right?
Yeah, but the whole point of it is it's casual and easy to use. You and Susan are out on the beach. You just throw it up. You give her a big hug. You throw it, and it does a little droney. Yeah,
I could get my Insta360 X4 up and fake a drone shot easily.
Hold it on the end of a stick.
A visible selfie stick.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that one of the things I'm really anxious to see is footage from the Neo to see what it looks like, because I think a lot of people, for us, I mean, we're so used to seeing footage from a Mavic 3 or an Air 3, and it being, really crisp, clear, pops right out at you kind of a thing. We have, I think for us, and I think for most of the people in the chat, have like a higher expectation. Okay. We want to, I know it's going to be 4K, but, is it going to be as sharp as the 4K that we see from like a Mavic 3 Pro or from like an Air 3 or even
the Pocket 3?
Yeah.
And Bill, for the selfie shots, like the Hover 1, I think is only a 2.7K, but those kind of tight selfie shots, it's good enough. You know what I mean? And I'll say that 4K out of the Neo, if you're just doing those selfie shots of you in the park, the regular 4K, even on a smaller sensor, is going to be fine for those type of shots.
Yeah, it does, John. You're right. It does sound like a perfect drone for the meetup. And we'll see. I mean, this is we're gonna have wall-to-wall coverage next week, okay? Because I heard rumor has it yours truly may be on Drone Nation next Monday night. There's a rumor going around about that.
Rumor mill.
Where the rumor mill started, and the other rumor mill is we're guessing it'll probably be like a 9 a.m. type of release like DJI has been doing, although they haven't officially announced it. And
nobody's got their email yet, Bill.
We haven't got the email, but I'm sure it's coming any day now. And we'll be on the air bringing it to you live. You'll witness Marcus hitting the buy button, okay? Which I know. We'll see. That's you know what? We need Marcus with a Corvette, but we also need a picture of Marcus hitting the buy button too. Autograph, sell millions. Drone Nation would explode, just absolutely explode.
Well, send Marcus a Hover 1 to get the selfie shot of him ordering the Neo.
At $320, I just think it's a no-brainer. And even if for some reason you buy it and you don't like it, so you turn around and throw it on Facebook Marketplace or something.
Well, no, I perfectly agree with Marcus. I think the thing, and Jay Bird said in chat, it'll sell like hotcakes because of the price point. What I'm interested is how many people are still going to be flying in 6 months after it comes out or whatever. How many of them will be gathering dust on the shelf?
Well, Dr. B says it's a hooker drone. I wonder if it's the same hooker that wrote that book, The Happy Hooker, but it's a you got to be of a certain age to know that reference, right? Only us old people will know that.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
But no, seriously, I think Ted is absolutely right. If there's somebody they buy that at that cheap price and they try it out and they think this is kind of fun, well, that's, I don't know yet, but that's probably not a drone that you're going to want to send out over the Snake River Canyon. Well, somebody buys it and likes it. Hey, they're going to say, well, geez, maybe I better get one that I can send it out there a ways, you know?
And then the Neo sits on the shelf.
Well, you know, and I got to say this is the first drone that's come along, I think, in a long time that we're not seeing. Normally, you know, when there's a drone release, one of the things that we hear a lot of is, oh, it's going to cost that much. Oh my gosh. You know, I'm not hearing that from anybody on this go around. Okay. At all. I mean, $329 for this, that's a steal. For
and Bill, okay, we talked about this last week. On launch date, do you think there'll be any other kits available except the $329 Flywarm bundle?
Motion controller, maybe, Ron. I mean, there's a lot of things they could do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes,
I bet they do offer a number of.
Yeah,
there'll be options on day one. That'll be nice.
Yeah, I think there'll be options on day one, but I don't think you'll be able to buy it by itself on day one, because I think they're going to do the bundles first. Okay.
Okay.
Chris Hope, you know, I know what Chris Hope needs. He wants to know if you can live stream with it.
Yeah, for his sunrise shots.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and make a total guess here and say it'll have the same live streaming options the last couple of drones have. You'll need an RTP thingamabobber to get live streaming.
Yeah.
There's going to be, you know, it's and see, this is, you know,
Bob Dempsey asking what goggles will work with it.
Yeah.
There now. Somebody floated a rumor yesterday. Was it Lon that they may come out with a budget pair of goggles that work with it?
That'd be interesting. That'd be very interesting. And see, you know, this is like one thing leads to another, because I think if somebody buys this, they'll probably end up getting and they like it, they'll probably end up getting an Avata. I'm just, you know, kind of spitballing here. You know, it goes back to that article that I talked about. And I don't know if you guys were on here about how DJI got to be the way they are. You know, and one of the things is they pour a lot of money into research and development, but part of that money is in marketing. Okay. And how they market things and how smart they are in terms of their integration. You know, like if you buy the Neo, it'll probably prompt you to end up buying like an Avata 2 kind of a thing. You know, it kind of carries that on. So, you know, there's a trend here that we're seeing with DJI. You know, these smaller drones, FPV, you know, this one here, multiple ways to use this drone, you know, with controller, without a controller, you know, voice commands. It's just, you know, we're going to see a lot here. So, you know, is this a direction DJI is going with all their drones?
Let me ask you guys, is this considered a Cinewhoop?
I mean, it's probably not going to, you know, have the photo quality that you would expect from the Cinewhoop, but I don't know that.
Yeah. I think I think the thing is, and that's a good point, Marcus. I think the thing is, I want to see some footage from it. I want to see some stills from this. You know, I mean, we're going to get it, but I would still like to see that, to know what we're expecting, know what's coming down the pike here, because I think a lot of us, you know, we've seen everything. We know pretty much all the specs. I showed you all these pictures that Jasper had posted, and he posted a ton of them out there tonight. You know, we know literally everything about it, but we haven't seen any video. We haven't seen any still pictures, you know, and these are things that I would really like to see, you know, before.
You think it's safe? You think it's safe to assume that it has no, you know, it's at least as good as the DJI Mini 4K as far as video and photo quality?
I would think so, Ron.
At least as good as that. Okay.
From what we've read. So, yeah. I mean, I would say that's a good point. You know, let's kind of, you know, expecting something along those lines when it does finally hit. I mean, I'm anxious, and I think as far as the release is concerned, I think it'll be like next day or 2 days you'll get it, because I think they're in stock. Okay. Amazon has them in, DJI has them in. I think they'll be at Best Buy. So Johnny can go knocking on Best Buy's doors. And I know Michael Wright will be doing the same thing, you know, and it'll be ready. It'll be there. I don't think there's going to be you're not going to have any problems as far as availability on this at all. Now that's,
I mean, unless they do have multiple packages, and maybe some packages sell out quicker than others.
Yeah, and I think the 300, the 329, I think that will go out. I think they have plenty of those in stock. I think it's when you start to add other packages in is where you get wonky. Now, a piece of advice, if you guys are going to order this, let's say, especially from DJI, okay, to order any accessories, order them separately. Don't bundle it all up, because what happens is, all right, you know, it bunks up the shipping on that, and they may delay your shipping of that. So, you know, if you're going to buy, say, that bundle for $329, just buy that and then go in and order extras. Like if you want to get extra batteries or props or who knows what else, do that separately from this. Don't add that on to your main order. Okay.
Yeah, good advice.
That's a piece of advice.
You may have touched on this already, Bill, but is it going to be at Best Buy on day one? In other words, will I be able to walk into my Best Buy first thing in the morning on release day, walk out with a new Neo?
Yeah, I think so. I think you'll be able to get out there and get it. I think it'll be right there. I don't think there's going to be any hesitation with this. Okay. And you also think about it too, because this is the smallest drone that DJI has really technically ever made. All right. And if you think about the logistics of how many of these you can fit on a pallet, you know, when you're bringing them, when you're shipping these, you know, you're going to get so many more in to be able to do that, even with a Flymore combo, because it's not going to be, the boxes won't be that terribly big because the drone's not that terribly big. So I think you'll see this in stock. I don't think there'll be any hesitation with that. I think with Amazon, they might even have same day shipping depending upon where you live, like get it same day kind of a thing.
So Ron, Goopy just sent me a message, and he kind of made a good point. You remember in Spin Up in, I believe it was 2021, the last one we went to. Okay. The only drone I took with me was the little Mini SE.
The first SE, yeah.
It was perfect for that, going to that meetup. It was easy to pack. I could pack light. Everybody's flying their drones. I kind of felt like I had just as much fun with that little Mini SE as everybody did with some other drones. Will this little Neo kind of fit in that same niche? In other words, you're going someplace, you don't want to pack a lot of stuff. You just take that little package with you and boom, off to the races you go. You still got a drone. You can still get some good aerial footage. No, you're not going to fly it 2 miles, but you know.
Yeah, you know, the one reservation I have on that, Marcus, is if these, you know, ducted props and cover props, so that makes it a poor performer in the wind. I mean, even your little Mini SE was a decent performer in the wind, but like, you know I tried to put prop guards on the Mini 4 Pro, and it turned into a not a good flyer at all, and not a good outdoor flyer whatsoever. So my main thing I'll be looking for in day one from people like Billy and Ken and all that will be the wind resistance, because if it has poor wind resistance, the drone's not for me.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Ron. You know, I guess maybe a question to ask you guys. The Avata 2, how is that in the wind?
I never fought it on a real windy day. So.
Yeah. Decent, Bill, on a real windy day, you want to keep it lower, you know.
Right.
But I mean, it's certainly better than Mini 4 Pro with prop guards on.
Yeah. Well, see, and I think part of the problem is, okay, with the prop guards, with like the mini drones, like you experienced, Ron. I think those drones, the mini drones, are very sensitive weight wise, and when you start monkeying around with weight, you end up messing around with center of gravity and things like that. So it makes the drone have to work harder to maintain the same kind of altitude and speed and things like that. So yeah, I think there's a lot to your point, Ron, about the prop guards.
And the lightweightness of this drone, cutting it down from 250 grams of whatever it is, that's definitely, you know, I mean, it's going to do something, you know. So yeah, I mean, I hope it flies well in the wind. I'm not telling you it's not. I'm not pre-reviewing this drone at all. I'm just saying that that's the thing I'm going to be looking for most from the first day reviews is how that thing handles in wind.
18 minutes, quick cat.
Yeah, 18 minutes according to the specs. That's probably not the real world flight time.
Well, that's some good news. Stephen just posted. Jasper also thinks props are thicker and maybe quieter. Okay.
This drone is meant to fly over people. Quietness is one of the most important features that go along with that.
Tell Ted, don't worry, I'll let him fly mine.
There you go, Dr. Ted. Marcus and you have a date, okay? Drone flying date there. Sounds good to me. So
I think we had the Action 5 Pro coming the following week. So if you only have a limited budget, you may want to wait and see what that has to offer.
Oh, Ron, buy them both. Hey, I want to put in a shameless plug for Dr. Bowman. He just published a cool video flying at Shoshone Falls. So if you get a chance to see that on the Snake River, he got a really good flight in.
He wasn't flying Neo, was he?
I don't know. He could have had, maybe he had.
Johnny has hinted a couple of times that said don't know why Marcus is being so coy about it. We all know he has it kind of in his comments.
Johnny, I really try and like you, buddy. I do. I try and like you.
Johnny, that box you held up earlier, Marcus? Johnny must think you're hiding a Neo in that box of the other drone you held up.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh,
yeah. The Neo's actually inside there. Yeah.
The D65. There you go.
Yeah. That's the Trojan horse. The Neo's inside there.
Fantastic. Absolutely.
So you think that some people are already calling this Neo the drone of the year. Is this the drone you've been most excited for so far in 2024?
No. That's a solid no from me, Ron.
Yeah, that's a no from me too. I mean, I'm going to get it. I'm excited about it. I don't think it's the drone of the year. I think, we're all waiting for that Air 3S Mavic 4.
Oh, so for you, the drone of the year hasn't been released yet.
Yeah, it hasn't been released yet. So, or it hasn't.
And already, I'm going to say no matter what this Neo is, it's not going to top the Avata 2.
What about a potential Mini 5, Ron?
Yeah, that may get put in the back burner with all these other drones coming out.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Kicked out a Mini a year for a while here.
Yeah, but they did skip that cycle from the Mini 2 to the Mini 3 Pro. There was at least a year and a half skip there, and with all these other drones coming, it could skip that. I saw somebody say today. Oh, I saw what's his name, Darren. He was talking about the Air 3S or the Air 4. He said that he doesn't think it's coming anytime soon because he said I'd already have the office of it's coming out soon. So I don't think that Air 3S is coming as soon as we think it is.
We'll see. We talked about like the Air 3S. And that, I think pretty sure last week or maybe a week before, we talked about why, we had all thought that was coming, and then all of a sudden we get the Neo. And, conjecture is, that they had some kind of software issue because one of the pictures that we saw of the Air 3S, it had crashed. It was damaged. So,
and in the chat, Drone Guy doesn't think the Mavic Force, it may be next year. He says unfortunately it could be next year.
That may be possible, but I still think, we'll see an Air 3S. I'm just not sure how soon. And because I think that this Neo, this was scheduled for later in the year. Okay. I think
this was the Christmas drone or whatever.
Exactly, Ron. Exactly.
And they flip-flopped it with the Air 3S because of problems. So the Air 3 may be shifted into the October, November Christmas season.
They'll do literally what they were calling the drone, the flip flop or the flip, whatever. They're going to be doing that.
They're going to have their own flip, yeah.
Well, as far as that's concerned. So, any closing thoughts tonight?
We may see two more drones this year: the Neo and the Air 3S.
Yep, I thoroughly believe
and of course the action camera.
So, any closing thoughts here, guys?
I'm just going to say it's like predicting anything. I know for sure we're going to see the Neo, and I know for sure we're going to probably see that Action 5 Pro. But beyond that, I'm just not even going to hesitate to guess.
You don't have your crystal ball handy?
Yeah, if we do, awesome. If we don't, hey, we'll have a great 2025, won't we?
The Air 3, the Air 3 is a fantastic drone. If you have to fly the Air 3 the rest of 2024, you're not missing out on much of anything.
Life is hard, or the Mavic 3 Pro. That Mavic 3 Pro just blows my mind every time I fly it. So yeah, we got some great stuff already. It's interesting, and it's always fun to think about what's coming next. But as Ron said,
our friend Richard recommended the Phoebe Mini 3 as a drone of the year.
Well, I wouldn't even go no.
How about second tier drone of the year, Marcus?
Second tier drone, the Phoebe drone of the year. I'll give it that. It's a nice little drone. I like the little Phoebe Mini 3, but it just is not. It's not in the same category. Just isn't.
So, any other kind of parting thoughts here, guys?
Just hold tight for another week. Save your money up or whatever. Maybe sell some old drones or whatever that you're not flying anymore.
Maybe the DRC 65.
Yeah. Well, Mark, you have to review that first. You have to review it first.
Well, yeah, those little things.
Yeah. So anyhow, just sit tight, folks. And again, get out there, fly what you got until next week. And I don't think we can't get another big discussion. And so, but I don't know if the Neo, usually a drone comes along and replaces a drone you already have. The Neo is not replacing anything, right? That's just something you add to your fleet. It doesn't replace something that's already there.
Right. Somebody called it an Avata Mini in the chat.
Or a Spark 2.
Or a Spark 2. Yep.
Or a better Tello.
Or a better Tello. Yep. All the above.
But anyhow, that's what's unusual about the Neo is it doesn't replace another drone. It's an additional drone that you probably didn't have unless you own the Hover One.
This isn't like a Mavic 3 replacing a Mavic 2.
Exactly, that kind of or an Air 3S replacing an Air 3.
Or an Air 3S replacing an Air 3. Yeah, this is something new, off the shelf, that kind of thing. So, Marcus, any thoughts here?
I think the Neo is. I think you guys are wrong. I think it is replacing a drone. It's the new Avata. It's the Avata 3. Nah, I'm just kidding. Just giving you guys a hard time.
So put your Avata 1, 2 out the curb next week when Trash Man comes around.
I just wanted to, counterpoint. I just wanted to take the other side of that argument. But anyway, get out there and fly. Have fun. The weather is starting to cool off, so it's time to get out there and fly your drone.
Yeah, and I want to echo what these guys said. Get out and fly. Enjoy your drones, okay? Also, too, this was a week full of some positives and some good news. Seeing that Avata 2 helping rescue some people out on a lake, that's always great to see that kind of a thing. I like hearing that. The Mavic 3 Enterprise is now cleared to fly over people with that parachute system. We talked about that earlier. That's great to see that too, and that means that's good news for us because as we go down these paths here, it kind of clears things for consumers as well too, which is this is always good. There's a lot of good news here, okay? And the Neo, that's a bright spot. That's some good news. We haven't had a lot of good drone news over the past few months. This is something good. This is something interesting, okay? The drone ban talk is kind of not there right now because Congress isn't in session, and it's kind of good. It's kind of refreshing. It's kind of something, we have something to look forward to, something that's positive. I really like it. It's really something good here. So look forward to next week, okay? Drone Nation, launch party, and then Rotor Talk. We'll cover all the bases from A to Z next week.
Who knows? Somebody like Marcus may have a drone in his hand next week's Rotor Talk Live.
It's possible. Sunday, maybe for drone seekers might have it.
That's true.
Or if your sock boy puts it out early at Best Buy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, one of the things I can tell you is I just saw a weather forecast. Our dew points are going to drop down drastically like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it's going to feel like fall here. I'm like,
Wow.
Please answer my prayers. Okay. Because after the tropical depression, Debbie and stuff came through here, the humidity, it just went through the roof down here. Not that it's not high here already. Okay.
Right.
It went through the roof. All right.
Wow.
And just the humidity is just going to drop down like it's fall. And I'm like,
yeah, well, the amazing thing is, Debbie came through the Northeast, and the Northeast had the heat wave that you guys had, the 95-degree temperatures. Debbie blew the heat wave out. Now it's like 80. And I'm not talking sure, but even then, the inland at my father's in Pennsylvania, it blew the 95s out and replaced with 80-degree days.
Yeah. And I'll take 80-degree days all day long. That's for sure. So, guys, thank you all for a great chat tonight. You guys were fantastic in the chat. Love it, love it, love it. Stay tuned to us. We'll get you all caught up on the Neo next week. Make sure to tune in onto Drone Nation tomorrow on Monday night. Tuesday morning release party on Drone Nation, and then tomorrow, and then a week from tonight, we'll wrap things up on Rotor Talk. We're going to have a lot of fun, guys. It's a new release. Great chat. Great time tonight. Guys, remember, it's a great day to fly. Take care, everybody.